Hey, Don here. Well, we coming back here. Get these headphones off. I was listening to my audio to see if I was getting it right. Um, I'm gonna stop my stream here. Um, okay, so with my little with my little I don't know what why it wouldn't play music in the music. Yeah, it was supposed to be music, and so I put another speaker on it. First, I tested it. Okay, yeah, I'll make sure I got everything in the right place. I tested it, and the little speaker that's down there in the box is a little smaller than this one. And they're both. That one was a computer speaker from a computer, a desktop computer. This one is out of an old TV that quit. This is a little Sanyo 2 watt. That was a 0.25 watt 8 ohm. This is a 2 watt 8 ohm little Sanyo speaker. I guess it was a Sanyo TV. And anyway, I tested them on my headphone output on my computer, the one I'm using here. And I didn't get any sound. And I was like, oh, and so I turned it up. I had to turn it up all the way as far as it would go, and I got a little crackly sound out of it. I was playing some fairly loud music, loud enough. And so then I tried this one, and it actually did better than the other one, even though I thought the other one would do better because it was only a 0.25 watts, so I figured it'd take less to drive it, but it was actually just the opposite. It's kind of funny. I remember back when I was a kid, one of my favorite projects that I did was I had a realistic cassette recorder, and I recorded everything on it, talking and playing, and I'd turn it on while we were sitting around talking. And I would it had a microphone, that you could plug into it, and I would set it up. It was a TV show on Saturday nights called. Well, there was two of them. One of them was called Midnight Special. One was Friday night, one was Saturday night. I can't remember which. And they come on. Midnight Special came on at midnight, and it was live. Well, I don't know if it was actually live, but they made it look like live music. And I remember one time in particular, David Bowie was on there with the Spiders from Mars, and I had never seen them in anything but a picture, but I'd heard their music, and I liked it, and thought it was so different and weird, and so I set up my little realistic cassette recorder, and I stuck the. Now I knew how to wire a headphone output to the input. I knew how to wire some speakers. A speaker. If there was a headphone output, I could wire it straight into my realistic cassette deck and get a line in. Actually it had a line in, but usually you had to use a mic because. Well, it depended. If it was a low signal, a low level signal, then you had to use the mic input because it had some gain. And then if you sometimes you could use the line input, but with speakers, you could wire in to the speaker wires, and small ones like that. Back then, these weren't big powered stereos, little devices, little computers. Not computers. TVs didn't have a computer. Wasn't no home PCs back then. And anyway. I couldn't see a way to do it to the TV, and I wasn't dare going to take my mom's TV apart. It was a portable TV, and it was the only one we had, And so I I plugged in my microphone and set it about, I had already learned how far to set it. Set it like 4 inches from the speaker in the chair, and I was going to record that whole concert, And then my sister came in with a friend, and her friend needed to be home. Supposed to have already been home. It was midnight. She was supposed to be home at 11, and it was after midnight. And she begged me to go take that girl home. So I went and took the girl home. And when I got back, it had been turned off, changed to another channel. So I didn't get my David Bowie concert. I got a little bit of it. But that's why I didn't want to use mic. That's why I learned how to do this kind of rigmarole here. We didn't call it hacking back then. Hacking was when you take a hacksaw. We would say I just hacked it together. Meant you took some things, you hacked them up with a hacksaw, cut them up, and then put them back together and made something else out of it. That was hacking. Had nothing to do with computers because we didn't. The only computers we ever heard of was the giant IBMs and that the government owned and stuff like that, and that took up a whole building. And we'd heard of them. They had them. They started having those big computers like that back in the 50s. I was born in '56, so I'd heard of them all my life, but there wasn't at that time. There might have been a little talk about home computers being the coming thing, but this was probably 1973. Yeah. So there was some talk about it, and there might have been. Yeah, I think there were a couple of. I didn't know about it. I don't remember knowing about it. Home computers that could be bought, but they were kind of like the ones with the blinky lights and the X on, X off, and all that stuff. But so anyway, I already hooked this up, and then I thought, okay, you know what? This is probably not going to work. And in the garage, I have a pair of these powered computer speakers. I was on a computer. Actually, I thought they were hooked up to a computer out there, and they were actually sitting there and not hooked up. Because I had when I built my power supply amp project, I had my 2 car amps being powered by 2 computer power supplies in my old Dell computer case. That's what I power my speakers with, these here. Well, this one of these, and then the big ones in the floor, and then these Jambox speakers, these Alba Jambox speakers, are powered by a 50-watt Alba Jambox head unit. They can come off of it. It's kind of where you could pull the speakers off. And and I had a Kenwood. I can't remember what it is. Jensen? No, that's. What do I have? Oh, these speakers are Jensen. Those car speakers. A Kenwood amp, yeah, that I got for $13 at a secondhand store about almost 20 years ago now, I guess. And I used it up until a couple of years ago. It got to where it wasn't working very well anymore. Imagine if I could replace can't see good and everything, but I bet if I replaced all the caps, if I could do that, I bet it'd be great, because this works fine. But I left it on day and night for 15, 18 years or something like that, because I would leave it on to play my Bible tapes when I'm going to sleep, and then I'd have it on all day for my sound. And it just stayed on. Hardly ever turned it off. So it worked. It did good for $13 amp. But anyway, it'll still work. It'll just start acting up and losing power, losing the volume. So anyway, it's in the garage, and I have my computer hooked up to it out there, and I can turn it on, and it works great when you don't run it too long. Still. So anyway, that's what the computer was hooked up to, not this. So I thought, well, heck, I need to bring those in. Do something else with them anyway. So anyway, I'm going to try this, see if it'll play it. And if it don't play it, then on here, then it doesn't mean necessarily that I didn't get my code on there. I actually can't remember now if I rewrote the little blinky light code on it or what I did, but I'll just turn it on and see if it plays anything. If that doesn't do it, I'll rewrite that sound code on there, that little song. And then if that don't work, I'll just use some jumper wires to hook up to the input on these little computer speakers, because they're powered speakers. They're amplified. I don't know if I even said that. The one over here on the right has got a built-in amplifier, so they'll amplify the sound enough that it should be heard if there's any sound coming out. So, and the other thing I wanted to mention is this. I thought about it when I was doing it, but I just felt like I ought to try this one first. These USB cables for printers, there's 2 types you'll generally see. One with this filter. I always thought it was a filter, but it may actually be like a line noise filter or something. But I got to, in the recent months, reading about all these kind of things and adapter cables and stuff, I got to thinking maybe this is actually a voltage regulator or something. Whatever it really is, I didn't bother to really try and find out. This is off of an HP printer, I think. Yeah, it is. And it came with one. Used to, you got cables with printers. And anyway, I don't know, it'd be pretty hard to find any specs on it anyway. But this one, you see, is one of the kind that doesn't have the filter or whatever that is on it. Filter, voltage regulator, it's something. It's not just a lump of plastic. There's some electronics in there, I'm pretty sure. I don't, some cables, they have those kind of a magnetism absorbers, I guess is what they are, the little rings that are on them, but it's not that, I don't think. So anyway, in case this was interfering with the signal, but I didn't get any errors, then I'll try this one. But so I got a couple of different things to try. So let me just start. I tried zooming in, and then you can't see this little my table thing here at all. My keyboard tray where I'm working here, so I couldn't zoom in. So I'm still plugged into 10 and ground on a different speaker now. So I'm going to plug it up, let it boot up, see if it plays that thing. I think it should still be on there, and I think it'll just, whatever code is on there, it should just run. Okay, lights are blinking. Green's on, and the yellow is blinking, and the I always forget what they are. RX, TX, TX, RX. They blinking a little bit. And I'll just give it a little bit of time. I wish that you could see the code running in the terminal window like you can with the TI MSP430s. If you have that debugger hooked up, you can see that code running, and you can see everything that's going on. But well, I mean, if it was making a tiny little bit of noise, you might be able to hear it if you did that. But I'm figuring, well, the first thing, let me get over here in my desktop. And I really can't remember. Oh, I didn't open up the program again. Let's see, that's my remote desktop. That's my VLC. Trying to figure out, I've got all my, I like to have everything in separate workspaces. Desktops, what I usually call them. So let's, since I'm working with the code right here, I'll put it in the same one with the browser. What do I want? I want Arduino. I want the Dune, Son of Dune. I finally saw that movie, Dune. I've heard about it for years and years. I didn't hear about it way back in the day. I heard about it for the last several years. And finally watched it. It was good. I liked it. It took a while. It took me like 5 settings to finish watching it because it really started out really slow, and I was tired every time I turned it on. I was like, well, I'm just going to bed, But once it got going, about an hour into it, it was a long movie. I really started getting into it. I liked it. Okay, so what I need to do is open. That's the one I want. There it is, right there. The square wave tune with an Arduino and a PC speaker sketch. That's what he called it. Oh, that opens it up in another window. Okay, well, that's fine with me. Now since I'm not even sure if it's on there or not, I'm going to write it to it again. Upload it. Compiling sketch. And this time I'm just going to sit there and watch it because we're waiting for sound anyway. We're not waiting for blinky lights or anything. Done uploading. Sketch uses same amount just like before. Don't see any errors or anything. Now, I want to see if there's something telling you in the notes here. Yeah, the last time I got off my desktop and didn't realize it. I'm going to keep checking. If you have to do something to get it to run. The thing is I read stuff where it says, it kind of sounds, from what I gathered, some of the older Arduinos you had to hit the reset button and then it would run what you put on it. You got to wait till it gets finished as writing though. You don't want to, or you'll screw it up, of course. But and then some of them, the code itself would reboot it. It could reboot. This one, the code can't. It can be rebooted by the code, but does it do it? So this is a MIDI song, is what it is. So it's just going to make. Well, how can you play a MIDI song on a Arduino? I mean, don't you have to have the MIDI instruments? Like in a computer, you have to have MIDI instruments. You can have all the MIDI programs you want, but if you don't have MIDI instrument plugins, then you don't play no noise. So now I'm not quite understanding. Maybe it's supposed to be, or maybe it's supposed to play it out of the computer. But I have my computer speakers on. turn them up too. Since I'm not playing anything else right now. But it could be playing it back through the USB cable. But why would no? Because why would you plug in a speaker to it? That doesn't make any sense. It's supposed to play it through the speaker. That's why you plug it in. Kind of looking through this code to see if I get any. Yeah, it's got the beats and the. Everything about it. I could never write all this out myself, but I can read it and kind of get a general idea of what it's talking about. Right, speaker out, time up, high, low. Daily microseconds, time up, 2,000. Or is it? Yeah, 2,000. Digital right, speaker out, low. Daily microseconds, time up. Speaker out low. So I don't know if it repeats or not, but it doesn't show any errors. And I don't think it's not doing anything. So if I hit reset, we'll see what happens here. I guess I'll have to hook it up to my. I don't hear a squeak out of it, so anything else I know to do is, yeah, I'll go ahead and try it with those other speakers, and then if that don't work, I'll go try the blinky LED again. And see, make sure, yeah, everything looks good on my stream. Okay, so I'm gonna unplug it because I don't want to hook up. I would hook up speaker wires to anything while it was running, but I blew out the audio chip, the output audio chip on my Dell 6000 laptop, just unplugging the little 3.5 millimeter. I had a long cable and I had to put together with a female, and I unplugged and plugged it back in because the sound had quit, and it made a pop and magic smoke. And that was the end of that. They didn't have a protection circuit in there. That chip was the protection. I read somewhere. That's how they do it. Okay, so I am on the desktop, and I'm not doing anything on the desktop. So here we go. I'm going to take my speaker off. Let's see. What do I want to do? Okay, yeah. I want to take my speaker loose, because it may just be that it takes too much to drive it. I would have thought that in the first place. I thought, wow, will it drive a speaker? Just that little bitty old Arduino, no amplifier or nothing. But, it was the person that wrote this code and showed a speaker just like that first one I tried and said it was a computer speaker and said it worked for them. So I thought, okay, I'll take their word for it. But didn't work for me. Okay, so we're still on pin 10 and ground. Make sure I'm not messing that part up. And I'm going to get my input for my little powered speaker. Let me turn it off for a minute. It's on right now. If I can get to the button. That button is hard to push. There. Okay, now I've got jumper wires. I think I can make work here. Yeah, only thing is my colors. Well, don't look at my color codes. I haven't got any color codes. There's no, like I always say, there's no such thing as color codes because nobody obeys them. Nobody pays any attention to them. See, this one's got a full metal jacket there. And a red jacket. And this one's just a bare wire on a bare end on a black wire and a big old alligator on that end. And I made these up back in about 75, about 76 probably. I had a whole set. These are what's left. I had a whole set of really nice ones that I made. Never heard of buying that stuff. We bought the clips and we made it and we put the wire on there. I never heard of buying them pre-made. I guarantee you they don't make them out of wire as good as that'll last that many years, and that's in bad shape. Okay, now red is my positive, but I'm having to go by what'll hook to what. I think that one's getting close to being broke. Let me look at it. It's still all right. Okay. Yeah, I've got some wire nuts sitting up here, so I can put this one together to that stiff wire. See this stranded wire won't go in the Arduino headers. I tried it with another piece and it just kept bending. Couldn't get it to stay in there. It was pretty stiff too, stiffer than this black wire. But these clips will stay on pretty good. These are pretty good clips. And let's see. Yeah, I'll put my one on my paper clip. I'll swing it out away from everything. There we go. And then this one is insulated, so I can I don't want to short it out, that's for sure. Okay, now that's a jinky looking mess, but there we go. Now we'll only have one side. That's probably the right side. I don't know for sure. Okay, oh, and then my cable if that don't work. But I imagine this is going to work better than that other speaker for sure. Well, see if you can yank it all off. So it makes noise when I touch it. When it gets grounded to me. Okay, we'll plug it up. And it comes loose when you mess around too much. Okay. Let me kind of look over at my stream. Still looks good. Okay, now ready to plug it up again. Hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. Just plays it over and over. I want to go turn it on. Make sure it's coming through on my the web page here. To the YouTube page. Make sure I can hear it through my... Oh, I have to hear it. Put my headphones on to hear it. Well, every time I try to record through the mic, I have a compressor and a noise gate on here on my V amp over here, and I think it's cutting it out. That's why I'm worried about it not coming through on the recording. Got feedback on my headset. Hang on, let me put my headset on. It's behind. I think reloading it may work, make it work. I know you can't see what I'm doing. You can just, I mean, you can see what I'm doing, but you can't see what I'm doing on the computer, right? Yeah, okay. I think I barely hear it in my headset. No, I don't. I did hear it because it was muted. Yeah, I can hear it. Okay. I know that was painstakingly. I had to know. It's barely coming through the mic. What I was wondering, I better quit fooling with that with it all. I was thinking I could make it come through both speakers by getting both of those two front pins on the little 3x5, 3x5, the 3.5 millimeter, but I don't think I should try that. When you mono a stereo signal, sometimes it will get hot. Okay, everything will get hot. Well, this might not handle it. This Arduino, I better not do that. Okay, let's see. It's still playing. Okay, so it works. It sounds. Of course, the first one was the one he said sounded really bad. That one, he did say it was a lot better. He said this second one was a lot better. Okay, so now can we play a PCM? Okay. Oh, I thought he had made it quit. I closed the screen. Let me get over here and get on the desktop again. Okay, so I closed the screen that had that code in it, and it didn't do anything to Arduino because it's embedded on the Arduino chip now, and it's going to play. That's what the Arduino does now. It plays that little tune over and over and over until you lose your mind. Okay, so how do you stop this thing? Well, the best way I know is to reprogram it. So we could do the first one just to see what it sounds like, but let's try. Yeah, let's do that first because that we know this code works, and then we'll try the trickier one, the one that has an added Yeah, I'm still on desktop. Okay, the one that has the added. Let me select all that and get rid of it. Control P. Control V, not Control P. I'm going to save it, and I'll just save it as the same name as the other one, except for with a like a number on it or something. Save, sketch. Oh, I see. It made it a folder. I don't really need that. Feb 04A. Oh, Feb 04A. That's the date. 2. This would actually be 1. That other one is 2. So I'm going to name it the way he made them. Okay, so now we can write. That one works. Holy crap. Oh, good thing you couldn't see me jump. I hit the ceiling. Now that one, going to turn the volume down for a minute there. That one, I had a feeling maybe I should try that one first, but I didn't do it because I thought, well, he said the other one's better. But this one is louder. I can still hear it with it turned all the way down. I don't know if is there a how do you set the volume? I don't see anything for V at all, so I don't know how you set the volume in something like that. MIDI notes. Okay, octaves, semitones. But obviously the volume is 10 times louder in this one. It's like 100 times louder. So I don't know what he did different. I was just thinking you could alter the code in that other one to make it louder, and then it would be cool. Because I had that little powered speaker turned up all the way, and well, when I hit it with this code, it I literally jumped. I mean, I just went. I didn't know what to do. I was stunned. It took me forever to get it turned down. I do not see. Okay, okay, that's the repeat section. Loop below everything below loop is a repeat section. It's a lot like XML. Looks a lot like an XML web page file. Okay, beat 0, max count 32 seconds, state in low, period, time up. Byte song 12 12 14 14. This person really knows their MIDI, that's for sure, because I don't know anything about how to do all this. Time up, time down, or time up, down. MIDI notes, octaves. Oh, speaker out equals 10. Lead pin 13. Oh, speaker out equals 10. That's the pin. LED pin, LED pin, yeah, LED. That's what Dave Jones at EEV blog, he calls it the LED. He always says LED. He never says LED. The LED. I'm like, what? LED? Where's the LED? There's lead in those boards? So, where's the volume? I'm missing it somewhere. Okay, let's rewrite it with the other one again. Might as well keep doing it if it's working, huh? What did I do? Close the whole program? Sure did. Darn it. Okay. Arduino. Arduino. Rastro. Okay, so open. Not upload. Open. I named it 1, didn't I? Oh, it made its own speaker inside folder inside of that one's folder. Well, which one's the one that February? Oh, put a 1 on the end of one of them. I haven't been in these. I don't know how. Oh, those are examples. Okay. I don't know what these libraries are. I think that might be something else. Now I can't find the. Try open again. I just canceled it and hit. What did I do? Miss it? Oh, there it is down there. I know I put. Okay, the one inside the second folder's got to be. No, because it was the first one. Okay, so it must be this one. Okay, now. Yeah, it looks a lot different. Lead pin equals lead pin equals 13. Speaker out 11. Oh, this makes a standard old speaker connector fit nicely over the pins. Oh, he changed the code. So I should be on pin 11. That's what it is. So, but if I had I don't know what kind of speaker connector he's talking about because they're always female for computers. But just like the one that I was just using a while ago. But what I can do is, a minute ago when it was super loud, I thought it was coming out of both of them. Okay, so it's driving me nuts. So I'm going to turn it off and change the wire to 11, and then... Oh, let's turn it back on and see if it just starts playing again. Well, I know it will, but let's do it. Yep. It doesn't take no time either. It doesn't... I mean, it's fast. Okay. So now, I want to move up to the next pin. I don't know if I got it right. That's why I wanted to turn it off to make sure I don't blow this thing up. I blew up a hard drive, hot plugging it to my little. I have Molex connectors that can pull out and power things, and I had a USB hard drive adapter that the power supply died on, so I was just using my Molex connectors out of my power supply amp down there, and I had it running. I just didn't want to turn it off, so I thought, I can just plug it in. You can't get it wrong. Well, you can if you try hard enough. I had it backwards, and I pushed real hard on it, and it forced two pins to short, and it burned up the 160 gigabyte hard drive. Burned it up. It's magical smoke. Okay, I don't know what'll happen with this one on there. I guess you won't get any sound. But it's strange that we got any sound at all the other way. We did get some. Now I'm going to write this one to it, and it's on pin 11. Look again. I'm scared of getting it wrong. It's good to be scared about these sort of things, because if you don't, you do what you'll do. You'll burn something up like I did with my hard drive. I should have waited a little longer maybe before I started writing, but oops, yeah. It said Arduino SRD can't open device TTY or busy. Okay, yeah, that's because well, I'll try one more time. I didn't wait. I plugged it in and hit the button almost simultaneously. Okay, try it again. Yeah, there it is. I think I can turn it up now. Yep, it works like it should. I was on the wrong pin, but I was still getting sound. What is that song? I keep dreaming that song. How do you stop that thing? You unplug it. Wow. Repeated noises like that would drive me insane in a matter of about 30 minutes. went blank. So the song, I don't know what it is, but of course it's a famous song of some sort. But the tone of that one is a lot better. That's what he was saying in his notes. The tone's a lot better on that one. And it is. I don't know if the other one was. I think the other one was a different. It's either a different tune or it was just so much, put together so differently. It didn't sound near as good. That one sounds actually good. Sounds like any computer playing a MIDI song. Actually, I've heard worse MIDI tones. When I first started messing with it, it was way back when it first started really being implemented into home computers with 486, and Windows 3.1, and it sounded terrible. Everything sounded terrible. Everything sounded so fake and so weird, So I decided I didn't like it. I wanted to be able to see. I like to write songs and poems, and I can sing. And I recorded a couple of albums over the years with one especially talented guy named Marty Splon. He played everything on one whole album, and then most of the half of the other album. And I can't play anything. I'm messing around with the guitar. Those intros to noises are me playing the guitar, and that was the best I ever did, and that's not so great. But he, but I tried to. I wanted to be able to, like, play the music that's in my head. I can hear songs in my head, but I can't play them because I can't play anything. And so I tried MIDI, tried some of these other things they have out now, but I haven't. What's the other one? UJam. There's one called UJam. I tried a website where you can just sing into it or upload something you recorded, and then it'll try to catch the timing of it, and it has not MIDIs but samples, of all different good samples of music, all kinds of instruments, and you can build songs. And I built one around a song that Marty had played the music for, but I had a cappella version of just me singing it, because sometimes he would have me just sing like to the drums or something, or just to a metronome, and that one was one we did like that. And so I had an a cappella version of it, and so I uploaded that, and the machine, the UJam machine just couldn't get that timing, and so no matter what I did, it just wasn't right, And I liked the music I put together, but it didn't fit that song. But I think I saved an instrumental version of it. I hope I did. I was thinking about that the other day. But anyway, I didn't do anything with it because, I didn't play it, so I don't say, oh, here's my new song, I just thought it'd be kind of cool to be able to, something I was actually singing on and something I arranged, that would be cool. But anyway, I was thinking about trying it again, but maybe I'll use this. Yeah. Do that over and over and over. Okay, here's what I want to try now. So the cable, that's fine. I mean, I don't know if the other one would work just as well, or if there's be any difference. But this one, that filter on there doesn't hurt a thing. Maybe for all I know, it helps. I thought it might be a voltage filter, and then it might keep it from spiking voltages and stuff like that, or keep it from being dirty. It might be a dirty electricity filter. I don't know how to say it, but okay. So so he does. I didn't see it on the. Let's see. I'll close this one. It's a saved one. I didn't see it right there. Oh, this is the other one. It says 8-bit PCM on pin 11. That's the other one that I wanted to try. And this one said on pin 10. Now, maybe I didn't read close enough, but it doesn't say it. Well, there's not any more explanation. It's just the notes, and I just didn't happen to read that part of the code. But it says right there, speaker out equal 11. And that's pin 11. Well, I didn't realize that at first. But when I saw LED pin equals 13, that clicked. I figured it out. Okay, so that's pretty cool. And this one here plays 8-bit PCM. Let me look through it here. What am I on? Okay, I was talking about what was on the website and I wasn't on there. I get confused. This one here, the one I've been playing, up here on the top he says, but speaker, simply plugging PC speaker between pin 10 and ground, which is what I had done. And but there's some bleed over there for sure. But right in this section, see, that's when it started dawning on me. LED pin equals 13. Speaker out equals 10. And I thought, oh, okay, 10, pin 10, And then down here, there's no more explanations, but once I figured that out, I started looking through the code, and I was like, oh, speaker out equals pin 11. So that's why I wasn't getting anything. And that's loud enough, it would have played on those little speakers, I guarantee you. It would have been pretty loud. But heck, I like it better on the, those are Jensen's. These, actually, Jensen has always been one of my favorite speakers ever since my first heard him in cars back in the 70s. Well, these cables are going everywhere. Oh, I'm trying to show them to the camera. Anyway, they're Jensen powered computer speakers. They have a built-in. One of the speakers has a built-in amp, and the other one's just a satellite speaker, I guess you could say. But the way I have it wired up, I'm only getting the left speaker, which is fine because that's the one I can pick up and move over here to the mic. So I got lucky on picking the right pin there. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, so that worked. Cool. I'm going to close this page so I won't keep going back to it by accident. And I don't need that way to fix. I don't have any errors with writing through my USB because my operating system fixed it for me. They asked me if I wanted to be able to do that, and I said yes, and it said okay. I just had to put in my root password. Okay, I'll make sure I'm not in the wrong place, not in the wrong settings. When you're busy doing these electronical experiments, you just can't be bothered with all this video production stuff. I need a team to back me up here. I'm the one that used to do all that, and everybody else is doing the show. Now it's my show, and nobody's watching. Is that how it goes? Okay, let's see. Plays 8-bit PCM audio in pin 11 using pulse width. Some of it's cut off. It's not doesn't fit that screen. I guess when you copy it and paste it, it'll be fine though. Happens a lot on websites. Uses two timers. The first changes the sample something, and then second holds pin 11 high for. Let me copy and paste it into the editor, into the IDE, and then I'll be able to read it. Now, what I don't know is it's a lot longer code. Can I? Well, I know I can't copy them both at the same time, but I'm going to say that you probably, from what I gather from that IDE, well, I don't know. Do I need to put them both in the same window? That's what I'm wondering. Or do I need to save this as a file and name it .wave2c, and put it somewhere, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to try loading it. I'll load this by itself, see what happens. It won't play anything, I don't think. And then it may say an error. It's like, where's your file that you want me to play? If it does that, then I'll see about trying to figure out how to get it in there. This is how I like to learn. Learn as you go. Play as you pay. Pay as you play. How do you say that? Okay, 8-bit playback on speaker. I just like to name them what they call it. This time I don't want to save it in that. Inside the speaker, the folder of the folder of the folder. That keeps staying below the. Yeah, that's where I want it. Whoops. Probably should have went in like libraries or something, but I'm not going to worry about it now. Just get rid of all this all of these spaces. Oops. This is fun. It really is easy once you figure it out. So, see, my only problem was uh, my only problem was not reading and understanding the code. I was going to say my speakers, but it wasn't my speakers. It was me. So, and it's a lot easier than it was really a lot harder to figure out how to do the TI. Well, it wasn't hard once I understood how to do it. Haven't done it again. I wanted to make a big project out of it, and I haven't done it. I always think too big, and I want to make things that are too hard. But so I can't, oh, I need this and I need that, and I need to learn this and I need to learn that. And okay, so it's not plugged in. So let's get it plugged in, and we'll be playing our theme song. Oh, that could be my theme song for my videos. I play that over and over and over at the beginning of every video. See if people will watch. There we go. Error compiling. Build options change. Rebuilding all. How do you mute that? Oh. Oh. Okay, turn it down. Now, that's how you mute it. Okay, 8-bit build options. This is error compiling. Build options changed. Rebuilding all 8-bit Hertz audio playback on PC speaker sketch. So and so, so and so. Fatal error. No such file or directory. Okay, so I'm going to do the only thing that I know to do here, and that's put the rest of that code in there, but down below this code. He put it in separate errors, but I would think that, see, that's the closing line. Whoops, right there. That's like an end of code line. I know that. So I don't see how that's going to work. But it doesn't have any instructions. I'm sure you're supposed to have studied on this and learned how to do it. But this is that file. Maybe I should look through the code and see if it's like given a place. Maybe you are supposed to save that as a file. Let's look through there before I just willy-nilly copy and paste that in there. I can still hear that. Okay, I can't think like that. Let me get the... I can't even listen to the music I enjoy while I'm working anymore. I can't read. I never could read and listen to anything at the same time. I have to, when I'm reading, I have to have quiet. Okay, so I don't think you just paste it below that. I'll try it if I don't see any other way. But I think it's probably telling it to play that file, and I can paste it into an editor. I've probably just a text editor, but I can open up another IDE and paste it in there, and then put it where I'll make a directory of wherever they're telling. I'm gonna see if there's a directory he's looking in for this file. There's a bunch of help though, how to do this right there, references and stuff. I didn't read every bit of this, did I? Let's see. I swear I can still hear it. It's not even plugged in. And now I can at least read all of this. I can see all the words. And so can you. I guess they're big enough for anybody to read. Okay. I keep worrying that I'm on camera instead of talking about what's on the screen in the back. I've done that 3 or 4 times this evening. You can use this wave. I saw that before and then forgot about it. I hacked it up to dump the samples as unsigned rather than signed, but it shouldn't matter. I'm going to click open URL and see what it is. Okay. What is this? It sounds like an audio player. Oh, hardware engine which can work on real hardware using multi-boot cable. Well, let's don't get into that right now. I'll leave it there. I got to put it somewhere though. I'm going to put it in my Arduino folder, even though that's not necessarily an Arduino app. Okay, and that's a player there. It's cool that you can open up these links from the Shiny Music Makers. Okay. So these are players that I guess will run on the Arduino. The Mac startup sound wasn't a money marketing exercise. It was a hack that was quietly dropped into the machine by an engineer with a home studio. I didn't know nothing about that. I never had a Mac. Still installed in every Mac. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if there's a... I don't think that's even about a program. Okay. Lost my place. That's why I'm used to having, everything in separate windows and all that good stuff. Okay, we got good stream still. Okay. Master up 800 wave. It's good instructions, that's for sure. Sounds like different ways to get the different waves, different sounds that you might want to play. Now let's get through the code here and see if 8,000 hertz to load. This is called 8,000 hertz to load next sample. Speaker pin 11, it says it down there too. Ramp down to 0, reduce the click at the end of the playback. Start playback. Pulse width modulation on speaker. I did not know you could play music using the pulse width modulator. All I've really read about it is motor control and charge controlling, like for solar panels and stuff like that. I've read a lot about how-tos on that stuff and seen a lot of videos on it. That's one reason why I was excited to get this. I thought I could do things like that, and maybe that, I don't know. I'm not sure what. Well, if the number one thing I want to make, this one, this could be a part of it, but maybe not. I don't know. It does do more audio than I dreamed, that it could do. But I want to make I want to need a mic preamp, and I want to make a wireless transmitter. And I have the Aaron wireless Zigbee transmitters with the Texas Instruments MSP430 chips on them, and I hooked them up and they worked. I did a demo with them. I did a demo app on them. And what I need though is a preamp to hook up to them, and then they could I think they could transmit enough data. I've seen some videos about that they can really transmit a lot more data than you think. And so if I could hook up my Shure SM50, I have another Shure SM58 mic head. I used to do sound for concerts, and the kid was swinging it around and around on like 10 feet of mic cord like an idiot, and it hit a brick wall. That stage had brick walls on each side of it, and it just shattered the case, of the SM58. Never seen another one break ever. Of course, that was some serious momentum there. And anyway, he paid for the mic, and I got a new mic. But I got that head works perfectly. Didn't hurt the head, and I put it in a long piece of about a 15-inch piece of PVC pipe to make a kick drum mic, so I could stick it all the way up in the back of a kick drum. And then I ended up hardly ever using it, but it's still on that. But I've always wanted to mount it on a headset, but I want a wireless headset, and so that's what I'd like to do. And so if I could use this, and I have the regular MSP432, so I don't know if I have enough electronics capable of doing that, and that's a heck of a project for a beginner too. But I've been reading for at least 5 years and watching videos and trying, if I could just remember everything I watched, I'd know everything about this stuff, but I forget stuff. Oh, okay, let me go back to what I was doing. Yeah, I forget what I'm supposed to be doing. Do non-inverting PWM on pin OC2A. Okay. I still don't see where you would put. If it went in here with this code, he would have put it together, But I don't see it calling for a file in a folder anywhere. So the only thing I know to do is maybe it's just supposed to be on the root directory of this. If I suppose it has directories. Control V. Only thing I know to do is paste all this code in there and see if that makes it play. Because I don't see it calling like now on the MSP430. Well, I don't know if you can actually make folders on its flash memory either. But this says sound data sound made by Wave2C. Wave2C modified to use unsigned wave. Constant sound swap rate 8,000. Sound length 10,000 looks like. So maybe that's it. I'm gonna hit save so I won't lose that, because maybe it'll work. Okay, now let's try loading it and see what happens. Whoops, it's already errored out. Okay, the 8-bit audio on the error. No such file or directory. No such file or directory. Well, where is it pointing to the directory? If I knew. I can't just use Crusader to make a directory on this thing, but I could put it. I thought, well, maybe if I put it in the right directory inside of this, what is this program called? Called Arduino. This Arduino program, then that's how you do it in other IDEs. You make a folder with other information when you need it, like in Python. You make folders with that other information, and then the IDE automatically puts it together in the right place on the Arduino. I don't know. Okay, so that don't do it, and I didn't see. I can't really imagine. Let's see. Can you do an edit undo? I think so. Yep. Sometimes if extra spaces after your program will foul things up, so I'm going to make sure I don't have any of that stuff. Okay, that's where it was. That's the last. So So I don't know where to put it. I mean, can you put another, put it in between just put it in between some brackets in here somewhere and it'll work? Or, but if it went there, he would have put it there. I'm sure of that. I think I'm sure of that. So I don't understand. Guess I'd have to go read some more instructions, wouldn't I? But I guarantee you that's a sound file. So if I was to, let's see, Arduino IDE, Avid Mux, video editor, Genie is the one I had up a while ago. I might try that. That was pretty good. It was. I don't think I have any of the. Let's open up Genie, and then see, it's a good IDE. It'll edit just about anything. That was that's Python script or program that I was trying to see if I could put it together and play it. It was another audio thing, and you had to. I forgot what you had to do, but let's see. I want to see if there's any other IDs that haven't really used Genie. I'm familiar with it, and I remember trying it out a little bit, but programming, Arduino, Eclipse. I do have Eclipse. It didn't show up in the search. Fox. I don't know what Fox really is. I don't think I've ever used it. Configuration editor. Genie. Let's look in Genie first since I've already got it open, but I may want to open up Eclipse. Oh yeah, it has a deal to write to Arduino. So let's do that. Yeah. That's why I added that add-in. Oh, I don't need this search. So we'll go back over here. I guess I'll go ahead. Yeah, I'll do it right here. Okay. I'll leave that open for a minute. I'm not so sure. It might not be something I need. Download. I don't see. It says, whoops. There's a link. Okay, well, we'll just do the virus total scan. I don't know if I want to even, I think it would take a lot of learning to understand it. Well, I'll let that do it, scan, and I'm going to open up my IDE. Eclipse. I wonder if I need a C++ debugger. This is just C, not C++. So I think, but I'm sure that Eclipse would work with this C, basic C language. That's what Super Dave said it is. So yeah, okay, use this as a default. Yeah, I'll just do that. I guess I've never opened it. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't messed with this stuff in a while. Once in a while, I'll open up some Python script or something and try to, change it or something. One time I didn't really write it, but I built a Python screensaver. And what I did is I took, I think it was in Eclipse, so I took a default. They have code, basically like sample code or templates, really. And I took a template for a screensaver template, and then I altered it and put in the hacker's manifesto text, and it goes through the screen like the original Star Wars titles, and I changed the timing to the right speed that I liked. But it must have memory holes in it because it will eat up memory. I can't run it. I don't know if I have it on here or not, but guarantee it wouldn't run on the Arduino. Okay, so what do I want? I think I want to open this one I've been trying to work with. Now, how am I going to? Where's my Arduino folder? There it is. Whoops. Now, where's the one? This is it, isn't it? Yep. See if it opens it up like it should. Okay, there it is. Oh, it opened it up in there. I don't want you opened up in there. I already got you opened up in there. Yeah, that was it. Think. No, that's something else. This is square wave. That's that other thing. I wonder if I could import it. I'm going to do new. File. Okay. Wait, it's trying to add a file. I thought I was going to make a file. Okay, that's not working. I don't have that made as a file yet, and that's what I wanted to do. I don't have any samples. I'm going to open up samples. Multi-page editor. Try to see readme tool, workbench views. Yeah, this is the one I've used before. But I don't remember how to get out of that. Okay, there we go. I don't have this. Let's see. Only thing I can figure maybe to do is make a new one in Genie with this and save it. It's something just that I'll know what it is. That's all I need to know. Wave to C. I want to get it in Arduino. Actually, I want it in here with that square wave. Is that the right one? No, that's not the right one. That's how I messed up before. It's this one, the 8-bit 8000 whatever. That's what I did, is open the wrong thing. Now I'm not going to give it an extension because I wouldn't know what to give it. Now I'm going to close this, and I'm going to say import projects from a folder. Let's see, Arduino 8-bit. Detect and configure nested projects under the given location. Yes. Import proposal could be computed. Could be. So it's recommended that you import the root project and select the user additional analysis after import detect. Where this may create projects in your workspace without ability to review first. What? I didn't understand that, did you? Some projects were detected. Please select which ones you want to import. Okay, well, I want that one. Okay, I think that's fine with me. If it works, completed. Okay. Now, there that is, just like it should be. It's what's the file extension here? Save as. Doesn't seem to have a file extension. I thought they had a file extension. INO. .ino. That's all I want to know. Okay. There that is. Okay, so now, see, this might give it the hierarchy and all the junk it needs for me. Now, what I want to do, Oh, let's plug in the Arduino and see if we can see it. Maybe I can write it to it, because there's a plug-in that I already put on here. Let's close the Arduino app first, because it'll be fighting with it. Okay, no Arduino app running. I think this is going to be playing music. You gotta get these cables the right way. They only go one way, and you don't. I was afraid. Yeah. This thing is backwards. You know, normally volume up would be up on the knob, but it's down is up and up is down. I can still hear it, but at least it's not blowing my head off. Launch, build. I'll hit launch and see what it does. This does not seem like the one that I used to use all the time. It doesn't have the same wording. No launch configuration, so okay. Build. That'll just open it up in the other deal, yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if I could hook it up to the maybe I should have done an import. I don't know. Well, it kind of did do one. I don't see anything about, you know, hooking up to your hardware. Run as. Yeah, I don't see anything about hooking it up to your hardware in there. Do you? Nobody there to tell me. I didn't think there would be. And outline is not available. Outline, let's see. That might be that's probably where your hardware would be. Properties. Now I didn't try, you know, this thing is playing that song again. Oh, it didn't write. Okay, it didn't write. But yeah, I don't see, it wouldn't let me. I couldn't write them in two separate batches, two separate moves. It wouldn't let me. It just said it can't find this. I know this is what it's looking for. But, oh, maybe try right clicking. There we go. Go, copy, rename, import, export, refresh. I don't know what the remote file system temp files. Oh, that might be on my board, but I don't know if I need to do that or not. Select a. Usually, you know, this stuff would be done automatically if it needed to be done. So. But you do have to connect, no matter what IDE you're in, you got to tell it. Well, it may connect automatically if you got something plugged in, but actually if I'd have had this plugged in when I opened up the IDE, it might have connected to it, and maybe that's what I need to do. But I don't see anything that says how you do it. I might hit restart. Open resource. Do not see anything in there about about the hardware. And I did put that plugin in there. Maybe that's all that plugin does is just make it open stuff up in that other app. Maybe you can only really just compile it and save it and then have to write it with the Arduino app. Because when I open that, it just does that. I'll leave that open and say build. I wouldn't know what to pick there. Probably that one. Well, it's doing something. I can still hear my song. What did I just click on? I thought I was... Did I click on cancel or okay, or what did I do? Well, you can't do anything with it, so I can't. I don't know. I think I'll close it, and I'm going to hit the restart and see, because I still don't see the. What was that? Oh, the README file. Yeah, it's clean. That was, what was I looking at? Oh, this, yeah. Okay, now. So it's got this stuff in here now. If I was had a half a clue of what I was doing, I bet I could do it in here. But let's see if it sees the build. Oh, you usually have to be clicked on the project that you want to build. At least its main folder. Launch. No launch configurations. Okay, I still didn't get that done right, did I? Profile. I'm going to hit run this time. Thing is, maybe you want it to be a remote. Oh, Arduino. We're going to give it a better name than that. 8-bit. We're just going to call it 8-bit. Finish. Okay, now let's try the run. Java laying. Java X. Maybe I needed to build. No, you can't build it first too. You have to build them before you can run them, and I didn't click build. But okay, there's a Java error in there, and I don't know how to fix that. Let's try build. No, it's the whole thing. It's not just one of those. I kind of think no matter where you're clicking, it's going to try to build all of it together. Because I put it in here as an entire project together. But I can't fix that. That's not something I could do. So, I mean, running this to the, oops, I clicked on compile. I meant to click on upload, but it wouldn't matter because it can't do it. No, wherever I don't see any place where the directory is named in there. Maybe it's there and I'm missing it. But I'm going to close this one. Now let's see about. Actually, I'm just going to leave that on there because I don't want to just put another blinky light on there. There was nothing to that. Where was it? Somewhere in here. There's not all this other stuff involves real projects with real stuff plugged in. Most all of it. Basics. Read signal, bare minimum. So I've got the best sound sample that I have figured out how to do. I know the words, but I can't remember them. I know these words, yes, I know these words. I'm going to play this in your room while you're trying to sleep tonight. I'm going to hack into your computer and I'm going to play it all night long. I think that's what somebody just did to me. Okay, well, how do you stop this thing? Oh yeah, you can unplug it. Whoops. So, if anybody jacks with my Arduino, they're gonna get an ear full of Okay. I'm tired now. I'm getting silly. So, we're just going to have to learn some more about this thing. That's pretty cool. And make a real project out of it, you know, proper thing that does stuff. Proper thing that does stuff. I don't even know if it's got enough processing power to be a mic, you know, to be part of a mic preamp. But it'll play MIDI. Because, you know, when you're inputting analog sound, that's a lot of, and then converting it. See, these other ones, they have places where you could, you can solder extra chips on them. You could, and I was thinking, well, maybe I could, dead bug solder an ADC on there, an analog to digital converter, you know, is what I was thinking. But the code is not as wild and free on the internet for those TI boards as it is for these. So you would really have to learn to write, and I don't remember what it's in. written in. I can't even remember. I think they'll run Python code though, but they don't have a lot of space on them. They don't have any more than these for sure. So and I have a Raspberry Pi, the 512 megabyte version. RAM 750 megahertz, 512 megabytes of RAM version. Now it would come nearer doing what I want to do, but if you could somehow add that ADC to it, I accidentally unhooked my cables, but that's all right, isn't it? Because I need to unhook them anyway. So I'm gonna unplug this stuff before I end up breaking something on this board. Worst of all, shorting something out on this board. So that's a cool little jobber there. I like that. I didn't really ever show it. It's probably upside down. I can't even tell. Yep. Nearly threw it down. But I never know which way to go. I guess because you're looking at yourself in the mirror when you've got your camera there. But see that side? That's the top side, and then the bottom side is protected. I screwed it on there because I kept falling out of there. But it's a little plastic case, and then there's holes and four more holes. There's 4 for the Arduino board, and actually my screw heads were too big, so I only put 3 screws in it because it's hitting that hitter up there. But then you could screw this down into whatever you want to screw it into, the clear plastic case, so it's all set and ready to put into something. And it's vented, so, to let the heat out. And of course, once you get to where you're going to put it in a project or even run it off a battery, you'd want to use this barrel connector here. But you want to get definitely want to get the right type and right amount of power. 7 to 12 volts DC, and the center pin is the positive, and the barrel, the outside, is the negative. Found that out. So don't take my word for anything. Go read it yourself like I did today, and read it again and again so you won't burn up your little deal. To buy these things, this was given to me, like I said, it's like $39 to buy that, so it's not a cheap toy. That MSP 430, you could buy them when they came out for $5 or $5.50 or something like that. But they don't have quite as many capabilities, but and not all the as many people using them and sharing code and stuff. But that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's my first time to use one of those, and I'm very pleased that I got it going and figured something out. I think I'll look at that a little bit before I go off of here, but I'm done with it for tonight, for darn sure. And yeah, I can show my camera this way too. I was thinking about doing that. See, I can do it like that, but then I either have to do it like that to get it in full screen, or I can just switch real quick from that. See, that way I thought, well, one way I won't get as confused, because wherever I go, if I want to go show me, I'll go here. I may start doing that. Only thing about it is I need to remember to stop it, because it will use up all my memory just sitting there running on my machine. And right now I'm doing really good. Yeah, 200 and a while ago when I was on here, I think it's because I left. The reason I decided maybe I might want to do that is because I've kept forgetting and leaving it in camera. Well, I was in camera mode a long time just now. I don't know what did it, but I do know if I let this run in VLC, the camera, for a long time, it will. Now I've already forgot what. Oh, I stopped it, but I'm in desktop mode. Yeah, see, that doesn't help. I get even more confused. Over here, at least I know I've got it labeled and I know where I'm going. But if I leave it in, it seems like I thought if I mean leaving it in camera mode like this for a long time, all this camera data that's streaming in here from my mobile phone, it evidently just going straight into memory is all I can figure. It's not going to a cache file. Either that, there's some other culprit, but something's filling up my memory sometimes, not all the time. After I shut it down, rebooted, I've ran it a good while, pretty good while now, and it's not using hardly anything. 217 megabyte. It was 2.39 or something like that gigabytes. Machine was slowing down, and that's what made me realize, And whenever this machine starts slowing down, you don't have 2 minutes. You better stop and what you're doing and reboot, or it's gonna just lock up, and you're gonna have to hard shut it down. So, oh, that's my entry. That was my entry. I clicked on the wrong thing by accident. That's the one bad thing about that. Well, I added a new one. I added one. There's no sound, and so that I could just have it sitting there, not using up any memory, And then the ones that play music, I think they use up memory too. So you don't want to leave it on one of them for real long. So then I can go to the cam. Then I can go to the desktop. Of course, it always plays the feedback if I'm in this window, But anyway, stop going on about all that. Well, this is Don, and there's my Arduino moment. They call it that. I just did. All right, this is Don. First day with my little Arduino Uno revision 3. All right, bye-bye.